Hello, my name is Nikita Warrior, and I currently go to Newport High School in Bellevue, Washington. And my paper is called AI Enhanced Learning, Customizing Educational Experiences for Students with ADHD. So my main research question was, how can AI be leveraged to create personalized learning experiences and provide real-time feedback that enhances the academic performance of students with ADHD? My essential questions were, how can AI be designed to create personalized learning paths for ADHD students? What impact does AI have on ADHD students' engagement and performance compared to traditional methods? And then what challenges and ethical issues arise in using AI for personalized education for ADHD students? And how can we address these concerns? And then the importance of this topic is, of course, improved learning outcomes. So how can we address these unique learning challenges for students with ADHD? And then once we're able to do that, this would lead to better academic performance for these students. And then also equitable access to education. So with these AI-driven solutions, we are promoting fairness and inclusivity in education through innovative technology, which is AI. So I first wanted to start by talking about what ADHD is. So it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, and it's a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects focus, impulse control, and activity levels for students. So there are three main types of ADHD. There's predominantly inattentive type, which basically has symptoms of being inattentive and not paying attention. And there's predominantly hyperactive impulsive type, which can mean that they have Tourette's or other hyper impulsive actions that they do. And then there's the combined type, which is basically both of them. And ADHD can affect academic performance.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Nikita. There's some background noise coming behind you. Do you want them to quieten, because everybody is on mute? Just so that, yep.
Oh, sorry, I'm outside, so I can't
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So ADHD can affect academic performance and social interactions because of the student's difficulty in concentrating, forgetfulness, and impulsivity. And then these are some current solutions that are being used to address these problems. So I just found researched different types of apps that are used. So there's digital planners and task management app tools, such as To-Do List and Trello. And these use visual boards and cards to help students organize tasks that they have, because one symptom of ADHD is forgetfulness and not being able to keep track of all of your assignments and tasks. And then note-taking apps that have more visuals. So Evernote has a really good organization of notes, and then they're easy to retrieve. And then, of course, OneNote is also commonly used. And then there's different time management tools such as Focus at Will and Forest, which are more interactive tools that these students can use to stay focused on their work. And then, of course, speech-to-text software and reading support tools are used during classes to improve learning. So my paper is a secondary literature review. So I looked at different research papers and different articles and got my information from there. For AI that's already being used in classrooms, I use data from surveys and interviews of educators across the US, and most of my data was from 2022 to 2023. And then for AI being used for ADHD support, I use studies on AI tools. And then for the prevalence of ADHD in different demographics, such as gender and age, I use the CDC, Centers for Disease Control information. And then my conclusion was that AI is an effective solution for students with ADHD because of its ability to provide real-time feedback and personalized learning that enhances academic performance and engagement. And then adaptive learning platforms can adjust content delivery based on individual progress, while AI-driven chatbots can provide instant support and reminders for assignments. And then, of course, however, to maximize these benefits, we must address ethical concerns and the method implementation. And then the solution to this and how we can address this would be collaboration among educators, researchers, and developers in designing these effective solutions. And then this is part of my works cited. And then, thank you. I've loved working with Gifted Gabber. My professors, Professor Monica and Professor Kaya, have really helped me. They're really responsive. They always, I can tell that they actually care about my work and how well I'm doing, and they check up on me, and they're always ready to help me when I need it. And their expertise in their different subjects are very evident when I'm talking to them. I can tell that they're very knowledgeable and really helpful. And yeah, my experience has been really great.
Yeah, and yeah, it was an amazing topic. And for somebody who struggles with OCD and other issues, I mean, I've struggled with ADHD all my life. So it's personal. And also, just want to let you know that we do help you create it further into a passion project. I haven't consulted with Dr. Sava yet to send her an email. We want to have a phase 2 of your research if you want to continue with Dr. Sava, which we are going to speak with Dr. Monica. I've not gotten to her and do that. And also, we are bringing in media attention to our students' activism and everything. And we do want you to continue AI for ADHD and want to create like a passion project or a plan for you. So if you're interested with that, please come back to us and do not stop there. You started a good work. So thank you so much. Question from Dr. Sava.
Hi, how are you today? Can you hear me?
I'm doing good.
So obviously you care deeply about this subject and you've done a great job. And obviously we're gonna touch back on it also. But what do you think, like from a non-research perspective, what did you find shocking that you learned through doing all this research? Anything?
I think honestly, the most shocking thing was how less schools are doing right now to help students with ADHD. I mean, since it's so prevalent, I really thought there would already be measures that schools are taking to help these students. And I personally have multiple friends with ADHD, which is one of the reasons why I chose this topic. And I was talking to them, and the school basically offers them no support other than like extra time on tests and stuff. But I think that was the most shocking thing for me, just learning how little schools are doing currently to help these students.
I agree with you. There's very little at the higher education points also. I would encourage you also to kind of continue with your passion and keep moving forward. This is a really good introduction for everybody to kind of get their feet, wet, get in the door kind of thing. But this is just like one step on your ladder in terms of if you really want to take this research to another place. So you have my blessing to continue, because I actually think your research will impact a ton of people. And like you said, there are not a lot of resources to help people for whatever reason. They don't exist right now. So you might have found a really good mission for yourself.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, a question from Professor K. Professor K, a question for Nikita.
I don't really have much of a question, because it's more like what made you decide, because when she proposed this study, it was more on like special children, and then she was, I think, divided into cerebral palsy or and then she decided on ADHD, because we were trying to try to explore some particular area which has not been researched. So more like, what made you decide on ADHD eventually?
I spent a lot of time like with younger students, because I work at Kumon, which is like a tutoring program for when I work with the younger kids. And then my robotics team mentors other younger students. So I spent a lot of time educating younger students. And then I had a couple of parents talking to me about how their student had ADHD. And they talked to me about how like schools aren't doing that much. And they talked to me about like different like ways they've been supporting their students. And they wanted me to like support their students. So I thought, because of my like interest in AI, and then with these parents asking me and with all my experience teaching, I thought that this would be a great culmination of all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, good choice, good choice.